So welcome to my kitchen. This is Cooking Today. Hi, welcome to Cooking Today. You're not going to believe what I'm making today. And you are all going to need to run right out this second, well not this second, but like in 30 minutes, and go get the ingredients and make this for yourself. I am making a chocolate peanut butter, I call it a dream pie because it's a dream. If you are a chocolate person and you're a peanut butter person and you're a little peanut butter cup lover, this is your dessert. You're gonna love it so much. I mean, we've talked about this. You know, in my rank, I'm fruit over chocolate. We've talked about that before. And in ranking, I am lemon and then strawberry and then coconut. That's no secret. That's kind of my way, my choice. So for me to say that there is a chocolate dessert that is amazing, or peanut butter especially, then you have got to listen to my endorsement here, y'all, because that means it is good stuff. I have made this pie. Okay, so let's see. I will have made 4 of these pies in 4 days. 4? I know, you're surprised that my apron strings don't go all the way around. It's true, 4 pies in 4 days. The first time I made it for Luke's birthday. He turned 18, and so I made this pie for his birthday. And it fell over Memorial Day weekend, so none of his friends were in town, and he couldn't hang out with anybody, so he had to just kind of hang out with us, and which is not very fun when you're 18. But so I made him this pie for his birthday. And he completely loved it. And we had planned to have his friend birthday party in our backyard the following, couple of days later after the Memorial Day holiday when everybody was back in town. So I made 2 more. And now today I'm making another one. So, I mean, y'all know we film these in advance. So 4 days, birthday, 2 pies for his cookout. And then today, 4 pies in 4 days. They are so delicious, y'all, these pies. Now, what we're doing today is just making one. And what I'm working on is the crust. This is so easy. It doesn't take any time at all. Like, we'll probably be able to easily you'll be able to make this whole pie from beginning to end in like 20 minutes, probably. And of course, I'm, stretching it out a little here, but you can make it super fast. So, we're gonna start with our chocolate crumb crust. And all I have here is I took a bag of like little chocolate, like Teddy Grahams, or those. You could also do chocolate animal crackers. I made the other ones with chocolate animal crackers. They come in the big long bag. You could even do like those chocolate graham crackers, just whatever you like. I know that there are a couple of recipes where people will actually put Oreos in like a food processor and make crumbs. Those would be unbelievable, but I'm not kidding you. This pie is so rich. And I love rich. I'm a desserts person. So if I say that this dessert is sweet and rich, then you know that I really mean that it is sweet and rich. As a matter of fact, when we made it for a whole bunch of boys and they ate it last night, I cut pretty small pieces. I mean, relatively small pieces, for teenage boys. And they could hardly even finish it. It was so funny. They were all standing in here and they were like, Miss Amy, can we drink your milk? Can we have a big old glass of milk? And so we were standing over here and everybody was having to take a bite and chase it with milk and take a bite and chase it with milk or a big cold ice water. So the nice thing about that is that generally a pie is, if you were to put it in this pie dish right here, you'd cut it in half and then cut it again and you get like, 8 pieces or so. You can really almost even get, more pieces, 10, 12 pieces, because every bite is so rich. Have I convinced you that it is a rich, yummy, delicious pie? Okay, starting with the crust. It's delicious, y'all. So all I've done is taken those crackers, little cookies, and I just put them in a Ziploc bag. Oh, I need to measure them. What am I doing? I'm just kind of going to town like I don't need to measure. I do need to measure. What you need is 2 cups of these crumbs after they are pounded up. You could do this in a food processor. I just like to do it with my rolling pin. It's just easy. And it's a whole lot easier than having to clean a blade in the food processor. So we're going to do 2 cups of crumbs. And there are some bigger pieces and some not, smaller pieces, and it doesn't matter. And then what I have right here in my other little Pyrex is, oh look, we're almost at 2 cups. I love when it works like that. Okay, 2 cups. And so all I have right there is a stick of butter that I've melted and allowed to cool for just a minute. And when we come back, we're gonna make our little crumb crust and load it up in our pie plate and start on this filling. The filling, so good. Come back, this is Cooking Today.
Cooking Today, sponsored by West Rock Coffee Company.
Hi, welcome back. We're making chocolate peanut butter dream pie. It's a dream, y'all. It is rich and sweet. So let me tell you what we've got going. I have beaten up and kind of crumbled and crushed 2 cups of, I did like chocolate little Teddy graham crackers. You could do Oreos or any other chocolate cookie of your choosing. And then I've just poured over a stick of unsalted butter. And all I'm doing is this is the knife I used to cut the butter in half when I was sticking it in my little measure down there. And you just really need to give these a good little toss so that they're almost all kind of coated in the liquid. Liquid meaning butter. We want them coated in the butter because that is going to be the little glue that helps make all of this stick together really, really well. So I'm just going to give this a little mash. And this is another really good way or good time to make sure that all those little pieces, if there's a couple chunks that are a little bit too big that you didn't quite get mashed, you can either kind of cut them up with your knife or pull them out and, eat them. Just kidding. Oh, like there's one. That's probably a little too big for our crumb crust. And I'll say this too. A lot of times when you do a crumb crust pie, if you are real particular and you love a pretty piece that is like cut beautifully and it sets all just great and all that, a crumb crust doesn't really work that way. It's going to be crumbly, and that's okay. So when I cut this pie and there's crumbles left in the back, I just kind of scoop them out and plop them right on top of the pie. It doesn't matter. It all eats so, so well. So all I'm going to do is, well, I threw a couple of those out. All we're going to do is put those in the bottom of a pie dish, and I haven't even had to do anything to it. I didn't prepare it or grease it or anything. Kind of pile it down in the center and then really give it a good press, and we really do want it to kind of go up the sides. And it is a good thick crust. I love it that way. And I almost feel like you need this crumbly bite and texture because the filling is so, so creamy and rich. Have I said that? Y'all, trust me. This one is a splurge. I love a good splurge. I do. Okay, so I've kind of just patted it in there. And this is not going to be like, it's not like dough. I mean, it's just barely sitting in there. And what we would need to do is I would suggest sticking that in the freezer or the refrigerator and letting that butter kind of firm itself back up before we fill it with our cream mixture, because otherwise it may kind of fall like a little landslide if it hasn't had time for that butter to kind of set up. But for now, I'm just going to let that sit right there. And we are going to work on our creamy, amazing filling. So, y'all, the good news is you may have a lot of this in your refrigerator and in your pantry, both. If you're like me, this is an easy one to kind of pull out and just kind of make on the fly. Okay, so what I've got is my stand mixer, and I'm eyeballing this, but what you need is about 3/4 of a cup of peanut butter. I think that looks pretty good. I might do a little bit more. Oh, y'all, so good. Okay, 3/4 of a cup of peanut butter. And then what I've let sit is cream cheese. And we don't want to use the whole thing. We just want to use, this is an 8-ounce block. I'm just going to cut it in half with my knife and use 4 ounces of it, and it's really nice and soft. And I'm just going to squeeze that off right in there with my peanut butter. I mean, can you believe how good this is already? Those ingredients, amazing. And then I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and put on our powdered sugar. So this is about 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. And you know, when I was buying my peanut butter for today, I was even seeing, y'all, there's all kinds of really good stuff like almond butter, and there's all kinds of flavored peanut butters these days. Things that are like kind of chocolatey. You can maybe even try this. I have not tried this, but you could maybe even try this with, you know, that chocolate hazelnut spread stuff that's like peanut butter. That's delicious. You could try that in here. That really might put it over the top. That would be so chocolatey and sweet. But you could actually play with this. You could probably use gluten-free cookies if you wanted to use gluten-free cookies in there and lighten up this whole thing, make it a little bit healthier. It's really good. Okay, and then I'm just gonna give this a little mix on low to kind of get incorporated. Then I'm gonna get it going. And this is gonna make like a peanut buttery paste, almost like when you use, almost like Play-Doh. I mean, it really gets real kind of clumpy and not really smooth yet until we add our next ingredient. I'm gonna add a little splash of vanilla and then watch that kind of come together in kind of like a clumpy dough. When we come back, we're gonna finish this up. We're gonna put it in our crust, top it with yummy little cups, and then finish it off with like the most amazing sinful topping ever. This is cooking today.
Iced tea, sponsored by Lipton.
What I love most about the farmers market is the music, the art, the food, the people themselves. That's local, that's Fayetteville.
Local means homegrown.
My kids can run around, they can choose what she wants to get and eat.
I like growing and selling directly to the public.
The market is kind of what community ought to be.
Visit us Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday on the square.
The Fayetteville Farmers Market.
100% local.
And love.
Hi, welcome back. We are making chocolate peanut butter dream pie. It's so good, oh my word. So we've let our crust chill, and all this was 2 cups of crumbled up chocolate cookies, wafers, whatever you want. Hey, and you know what I was even thinking? I even saw peanut butter Oreos at the grocery store, like chocolate cookies, peanut butter in the middle, which would be seriously maybe over the top, but you could try it. Really good though. So these are just our little cookie crumbs that we did, and then we did 2 cups of butter and mushed it in there, and we let that chill for just a little bit so it's nice and cool. And then we've kind of made our little dough, and I'm going to show you. Remember I said it kind of looks like cookie dough, or it almost looks like pie crust. It really does just mash. I would eat that right this second if y'all weren't looking. And so we kind of have gotten that going, and what we're going to add to it to give it the dreamy, creamy part is just 1 container of just, you know, frozen whipped topping. And you know, in the scale of whipped topping, there's like fat-free and light and regular and creamy. I don't even think I need to tell you which one that I got, because I would guess that if you've been around here very long, you're going to know that I chose creamy. Because after all, we are making a pie filling, and it is called a dream pie. So we really want to add whatever extra yummy, creamy texture we can get in there. Why would we not add it? Okay, so let me put this down. And we're just going to give that a whir. And that is going to turn that kind of, you know, putty, Play-Doh-y crust, you know, pie crust looking peanut butter, powdered sugar cream cheese mush into cream and delicious. And oh my goodness, it's so smooth. So what I'm doing is just giving this a whir first, just to kind of incorporate it. It kind of breaks down that the first part. And then I'm going to give it a pick up and really let that get going. So good. And then I'm going to let that go for just a couple minutes. I really like to get a little bit of the air in it. And I like for it to just take a few extra minutes to get absolutely every single bit of that peanut buttery putty and get it really nice and smooth so that you don't have any of those pieces. You know, peanut butter in there, especially with that powdered sugar, it can kind of be a little bit, I don't know if gritty is the right word, but kind of gritty. And so we want to let that get good and smooth. It's a pretty color too. So all I have got going right now are I just got one of those, you know, the packages that have all these little peanut butter cups in them, and they come pre-wrapped. And so thankfully, I have some cameraman helpers who sat and helped unwrap these. I threatened his life and told Timmy he couldn't eat one. Actually, I allotted him one. I said, you can have one, because it would be mean for me to say that you couldn't have any. I mean, who can unwrap these and not have at least one, right? So I gave him one. Oh, and then he found one that was mashed, and he had to eat it. We teased him that we think he squished it so that he could have it himself. He says he only got one. He just gave me that. Don't believe it. Anyway, so you could cut these up as, I don't know, as much or as little as you would like. I think that looks good. I'm gonna let that sit a second. Oh my word. Like when I stopped the mixer, the filling just kind of went like this. You know what I mean? Like that. Just so pretty and smooth. You can do a couple things on these peanut butter cups. You can buy these are the minis, and unwrap them and cut them in half. If you want to do the extra elbow grease, put that work in, then you could cut them in quarters if you would like. If you're lucky, you can find those smaller packages where they're already unwrapped and they're like not minis, but they're even like bite size, or I don't even know. They are danger zone though. Don't try to start snacking on those because you'll never stop, because you don't even have to take the wrap off. You just pop them in your mouth. But if you can find those, they're amazingly awesome and super easy to put on top. I think that's good. I'm gonna leave 3 because there are 3 of us here in the room. So we'll have our own little snack. So I'm gonna ooch these over, and then all I'm gonna do is get my filling out. Now I do like to take this is a spurtle. I don't know if y'all have seen this. This is what I've been using. It's just kind of a flat spatula spoon utensil that we, you know, kind of works for just about anything. I stuck it down in that peanut butter tube, and, you know, kind of got stuff out, and I'm using it to scrape down the sides of my bowl. But you do want to kind of get your utensil down in the bottom, you know how we do, and kind of loosen that up and make sure that there's not any bits on the bottom. And then we're going to pour it in this crust. And then we're going to top it with these cut up peanut butter cups. Oh, looks so good. Okay, here we go. Ready? Oh, my stars. Oh, my stars. Oh, my stars. And what I like to do is try to get it all right into the middle. And then, oh, I sure hate to leave any of that. I like to put it right here in the middle and then just start to spread from the center out. And then that way you don't want to go in circles and you don't want to pull from the outside because it's going to pull your crumb crust with you. So I'm going to spread this out. We're going to fill the top with these cut up peanut butter cups. And when we come back, we're going to do a chocolate drizzle just to top off the goodness. This is Cooking Today. Hi, welcome back. Look, isn't it pretty? Oh my goodness. Crumb crust that we made, and we just did a little butter, patted it into our pie dish, and then we made that unbelievable creamy over the top, really easy filling. Wasn't that so easy? It just took a few minutes to whir it up in the mixer. Chopped up some peanut butter cups, and then what I've got right here that is really just kind of the icing on the cake, or pie for that matter, is I did a 1/4 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips, and 1/4 cup of milk chocolate chips to kind of meet in the middle, not too semi-sweet and not too milky, and 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, and microwaved it for like 30 seconds and then 15 seconds and stirred it, and it becomes this unbelievable little drizzle. So what I do next is a drizzle. Look at this. And I do a drizzle left and right, all the way over, crust to crust, all the way over. And then I'm gonna rotate that pie and crisscross it. So I'm making almost like a chocolate drizzle lattice on top. And then, you know what the worst part is about this pie? Is it has to chill. It takes about probably 4 hours or so for it to set up. I know, I'm sorry to make you wait. And then look here, I'm gonna rotate. And then when it is time to cut this, y'all, it is delicious, it is creamy, so sweet. You're gonna need to have a cup of cold milk. Pour yourself a cup of West Rock coffee as a little chaser. Make yourself a yummy chocolate peanut butter pie. Love every bite. This is Cooking Today.
Cooking Today, sponsored by West Rock Coffee Company. Kitchenware is provided by Una Mays. Groceries provided by Harps, Hometown Fresh. Online Elements sponsored by Fayetteville Farmers Market.